Animals may understand your baby talk better than you think. Not the actual words. Not the tiny voice you use when you say, "Who's a good little potato?" but the signal hiding underneath it. And that is the strange part. Because when humans talk to babies, dogs, cats, horses, parrots, or even random animals on the internet, we almost always change our voice. We go higher, slower, softer, more dramatic. Basically, we become a walking cartoon with emotional problems. But animals notice. Your dog may tilt its head. Your cat may blink slowly. A horse may step closer. A parrot may suddenly get excited. Even animals that do not understand human language can sometimes react to the strange music inside our voice. So do animals actually understand baby talk? Or are they just staring at us because we sound broken? The answer is fast, weird, and a little embarrassing. Because baby talk may not be language to animals. It may be something older, a signal of safety. Discovery 1. The voice is the message. You know the type. A dog hears a normal sentence like, "Come here," and does absolutely nothing. Then the same human says, "Come here, you tiny little angel goblin," in a ridiculous baby voice, and suddenly the dog runs over like it has been chosen by destiny. This sounds normal. It isn't. Animals may not understand every word, but many of them are very good at reading sound, tone, rhythm, pitch, speed, energy. These things matter. A higher voice often feels less threatening. A slower rhythm gives the animal more time to process what is happening. A soft tone can make a human seem safer. Repeated sounds can make the message easier to notice. So when you use baby talk, the animal may not hear a sentence. It may hear a mood. In theory, you are saying, "Come here, sweet baby." In practice, your voice is saying, "I am friendly, excited, and probably not about to eat you." That is useful information, especially if you are a small animal living beside a large, unpredictable ape that owns a vacuum cleaner. Most people never notice this, but baby talk is not just silly noise. It is emotional packaging. You wrap your intention in a voice that sounds softer, warmer, and more harmless. That matters because animals are always asking one question about us. Is this human safe right now? And baby talk often answers, yes, weird, but safe. Discovery 2. Dogs may be built for this. If there is one animal that seems dangerously good at decoding human nonsense, it is the dog. Dogs live inside our social world. They watch our faces. They track our hands. They learn our routines. They know the sound of the fridge door, the leash, the treat bag, and your fake calm voice before the vet. That one never works, by the way. Dogs are not just listening for commands. They are listening for attention. And baby talk is basically attention with a spotlight on it. When you talk to a dog in a high, excited voice, you are sending a very strong social signal. You are focused on them. You are inviting interaction. You are probably about to touch them, feed them, praise them, or throw something they will chase like a tiny furry missile. To a dog, that matters. Attention is currency. A warm voice can mean good things are coming. A playful voice can mean movement. A soft voice can mean safety. Here's where it gets interesting. A dog may not understand that little pumpkin monster is supposed to be affectionate. That phrase makes no sense. Honestly, it barely makes sense to humans. But the dog may understand the pattern. When you use that voice, happy things happen. Food appears. Hands pet them. Eyes soften. The room becomes less threatening. The dog gets included. That is not language in the human sense, but it is still communication. And in some ways, dogs may care more about the emotional meaning than the dictionary meaning. Because a word like sit only matters if the dog has learned it. But tone works immediately. A harsh good dog can sound dangerous. A warm you little disaster can sound loving. That is the strange power of voice. The words may lie. The tone usually confesses. Discovery 3. Cats understand more than they admit. Now, cats are different. A dog may run toward baby talk like it has been summoned by heaven. A cat may look at you like you interrupted a meeting with ancient spirits. But do not be fooled. Cats often know when humans are talking to them. They may recognize familiar voices. They may notice when their owner uses a special pet-directed tone. They may react to soft speech, repeated sounds, or the emotional shift in your voice. They just do not always feel the need to reward you with movement. This is the cat problem. In practice, cats can understand signals and still choose sleep, or violence. Usually sleep, then violence. Baby talk with cats often works less like a command and more like a social invitation. A soft voice can mean safety. A calm tone can mean no threat. A familiar sound can mean, my human is nearby, and for once, nothing terrible is happening. That matters because cats have a strange place in nature. They are predators, but they are also small enough to be prey. So their brains care deeply about mood. They watch movement. They notice pressure. They listen for sharp sounds. A loud human can feel dangerous. A sudden human can feel suspicious. A soft human is easier to tolerate. This is why some cats come closer when you speak gently, not because they understand every word, but because your voice changes the emotional temperature of the room. You are no longer a giant standing animal with confusing hands. You are a calm presence, maybe even useful, maybe even warm. Do not get too proud. The cat will decide later. But if your cat blinks slowly while you use a soft voice, that may not be random. It may be reading your tone and answering with its own version of peace. A very small piece, with claws. Discovery 4. Animals hear emotion before meaning. Imagine someone speaking a language you do not understand. If they whisper gently, you relax. If they shout sharply, your body reacts. If they laugh softly, you may feel safer. If they bark words at you with tense energy, you probably do not ask for a translation. You step back. That is how baby talk often works for animals. It is emotional weather. Animals do not need to understand grammar to understand that the storm has changed. Tone predicts action. A harsh voice may predict punishment or danger. A playful voice may predict movement. A soft voice may predict touch, food, or calm contact. A high, excited voice may predict play. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Animals are constantly studying the tiny signals we leak. Our posture, our speed, our eyes, our hands, our breathing, our voice. And baby talk is not subtle. It is a giant flashing sign that says, I am trying to connect with you. That is why even animals that are not pets can sometimes respond to soft, gentle speech. A horse may settle when a handler speaks calmly. A nervous animal may stay farther away from a sharp voice. A bird may become curious when a sound is repeated in a friendly tone. The exact reaction depends on the species, the animal's history, and whether it has learned to trust humans. But the basic idea is simple. Sound carries emotion, and emotion is information. For animals, information can mean survival. This is why your voice matters more than you think. You may believe you are just talking nonsense to your dog while holding a sock, but your dog may be reading your whole mood like a weather report. Sunny with a chance of treats. Discovery 5. Baby talk is not just for babies. Here is the catch. Baby talk does not mean animals understand you like a human child. That would be too easy. Your dog is not secretly translating, "Who is mommy's little muffin soldier?" into a full sentence. Your cat is not thinking, "Ah, yes, she admires my loaf shape." Probably. What animals may understand is your intention. Friendly, excited, gentle, safe, interested. And sometimes that is enough. This may be why humans do it almost automatically. We use a special voice for anything that feels cute, vulnerable, harmless, or socially important. Babies, puppies, kittens, tiny goats. A raccoon holding food like a tiny criminal. Our brains switch into care mode. We soften our voice because softness says, I am not a threat. We raise our pitch because high sounds can feel more inviting. We repeat words because repetition grabs attention. We exaggerate emotion because animals are not reading subtitles. They are reading us. This is also why baby talk can backfire. If your voice gets too loud, too excited, or too sudden, some animals may become nervous instead of comforted. A dog may jump. A cat may leave. A horse may tense. A parrot may scream back because apparently the meeting has escalated. So the magic is not just talk like a baby. The magic is matching the animal's comfort, soft enough to feel safe, clear enough to be noticed, warm enough to invite trust. That is the real skill. Not sounding cute, sounding safe. And this matters because our relationship with animals is built on signals much older than words. Before training, before commands, before names, there was tone, a calm sound, a gentle rhythm, a voice that said, you can come closer. So do animals understand human baby talk? Not exactly. They do not translate every silly word. They read the emotion inside the sound. And that may be even more important. Because to an animal, your voice is not just noise. It is a clue about what kind of creature you are in this moment. Safe or dangerous. Playful or angry. calm or unpredictable, friend or problem with legs. The core idea is simple. Baby talk is not about vocabulary. It is about sending a friendly signal in a voice animals can notice. So the next time you call your dog a tiny fluffy goblin or ask your cat why it is shaped like a loaf, remember this. They may not understand the insult, but they probably understand the love, and maybe that is the part that matters. Subscribe for more strange animal behavior explained simply.